Hey class, today I have a quick lesson for you on something called nominal clauses. Nominal clauses are a very useful type of grammatical structure that we could use for academic writing. And the reason that these are useful is because it helps us really expand on complicated ideas in writing instead of just having to use our standard structure of subject, verb, object. We're able to put some extra information into the noun parts of our sentence. So in a standard sentence, you would just have, like we said, subject, verb, object. So you could have something like, I like cats, right? Subject I, verb like, and then cats would be our object. And that is helpful. That's a helpful type of sentence, but it doesn't give us a lot of detail. Nominal clauses are going to allow us to put extra detail in because we can take the subject or the object of a sentence and we can really expand on it to include more information. So when we are using nominal clauses, we always want to be replacing the subject or the object with our sentence with a selection of words that represents what we want to talk about. So it performs the same function as a noun. We can use it as the subject or the object. Although it is generally the object, it is less frequently the subject of a sentence. There are three major types of nominal clause, and we've got them on the screen here. We have that clauses, and here's an example of a that clause. We have some businesses are concerned that oil prices are falling. And this right here is our nominal clause. So in this sentence, the nominal clause fills the role of our object, right? So we have subject, businesses, our verb phrases are concerned, and then the object of our sentence is oil prices are falling. This nominal clause allows us to include more information than just saying businesses are concerned about oil or businesses are concerned about prices falling. It allows us to take this whole sort of complicated idea and put it into one object. So when you have that clauses, it generally follows verbs or adjectives that describe thoughts or opinions or beliefs. It also can follow reporting verbs like the ones that you would use when you're giving a quote or a paraphrase from someone. So that is the general time you would use this type of clause, and you would transition into the clause by using the word that, but you can also omit the word that and it would still be fine. So you could just say some businesses are concerned oil prices are falling. You don't need to include that, but it does make it more clear sometimes. So that's a stylistic choice. The second type we have are question clauses. And these are nominal clauses that include our question words like who, what, where, when, why, how. So in all of these, you will see words like what, words like where. Now I have two examples of these question clauses. First one, pollution is what worries me the most. In this sentence, our clause is right here. Our nominal clause is right here. What worries me the most is our nominal clause. And what does this do in our sentence? First, it acts as an object. And second, a question clause is helpful because it allows you to introduce a question and answer it at the same time. Now, this is very helpful in academic writing because when you are writing something like an essay, you are not having a conversation. There's no chance for the person you are speaking to or the person who is reading your writing to interact with you. So a very important thing to do when you are doing academic writing is predict what questions they might have and answer those questions before they ask it, right? Or as they're thinking it. So this allows you to both ask and answer a question instead of relying on a second person being there to ask a question for you to answer. So pollution is what worries me the most. Our question is, what worries you the most? Our answer is pollution, right? So this acts as the object of our sentence. So our second example of a question clause is right here. Where people will go is uncertain, but they won't stay here. So in this sentence, we have our nominal clause at the beginning, where people will go. And again, we are asking a question, we are answering a question. So our question, where will people go? Our answer, it is uncertain, right? So this allows us, again, to ask a question and answer a question inside the same sentence. And this is a very helpful grammar structure. So in this sentence, our nominal clause is acting as the subject rather than as the object. One important thing to note about this is even though we are using question words, we do not end it with a question mark because we are making a statement, we are not asking a question. So very important that you end these with a period rather than with a question mark. The final type of nominal clause we're going to talk about is if-whether clauses. And these are similar to question clauses in the fact that they are presenting a question, but the main difference here is that they don't answer the question and they are presenting a yes or no choice rather than an open-ended question. So when we look at this with this statement, we have our nominal clause at the end here. We must ask ourselves whether or if we can really cope. So in this, we're asking a question. Can we cope? We don't have an answer to it, but we are asking that question and we're putting it in statement form. So this is helpful for your academic writing because you don't always just want to ask open questions because again, you're not having a conversation with someone. You are writing, they are reading, there is no interaction. So this allows you to ask that question, but you put it into a statement form rather than a question form. For these if-whether clauses, we can choose to use either whether or if. Don't use both, but they are interchangeable. Where you can use whether, you can also use if. So now on this page, we have some practice exercises we could do with nominal clauses. If we look at our first one here, we want to take a look at these 6 sentences and we want to find the nominal clauses and underline them. So we're going to be looking for keywords like that, our question words, if or whether, and those will point us towards the nominal clause. We also want to identify if it is the subject of our sentence or the object of our sentence. So for homework, I would like you to take a look at these 6 sentences and find the nominal clause inside it. Underline the nominal clause. Tell me if it is the subject or if it is the object. So that is our lesson for today. A quick grammar lesson. If you have any questions, please ask me. Let me know if you need help or if you just want extra clarity. So I will see you all soon. Have a great day.